Testing, testing. One, two, three. Hello. Hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy One Gun, folks. And today, folks, I got something funny to tell you. Guys, I've been going back and forth with Catfood Larry, aka Larry Higgins, aka the creep who created Niobe. Um, and because, long story short, he decided to get up one day and say, "Hey, I haven't made enough money to cover my cost on Niobe, on my crowdfunder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir up some problems and cause some controversy by making a list of people that have laughed at me for being a complete buffoon and list them as racists for no reason. Now he has no proof, he has nothing, but his squeamish talk of saying I have proof, I have 10 years worth of proof. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, I didn't know. Comics has been around for 10 years. Maybe it's like the last maybe 6 or 7. I don't think 10 years. But the other thing about it is he went on this rage campaign. And some reason threw me in it. I have no issues with Niobe. The only time I confronted Niobe was like way back before Christmas got here. I was on a stream with Cynic and Ruby, and they invited this fool on, and he went off. He went after Cynic. He went after everybody on the panel. I didn't say nothing. The only time I said something to him is when he decided to go and attack my buddy Liam. He attacked Liam, and I was asking him why you're attacking him, and then we got into it. And that's when I got into it with him and decided to say this dude's a complete boob, moron, and idiot. After that, I had a couple more a couple more things to go on between me and this fool. But after that, I just understand. I just ignore him. So after months and months of ignoring him, whatever, he pops up. And the only reason why he pops up is because he has a campaign going on right now. Now his last campaign failed, so this time around he figured that he will come into the indie comic scene or come into this community, the Comicsgate community. Now, I'm not a part of this community. I just come over here and I hang out with some people over here because some good people to just chill out with and have conversations with. There's no problem with hanging around people, even if they share different views or whatever. It's okay to talk to people. That's the way God made us. God made us social beings. And to sit back and cast yourself away and say, well, I'm not going to associate with this people because they believe in this person or they vote for that person. Well, that just makes you a subhuman. But as for free thinkers like me, that's what I do in my life. I talk to everybody no matter what. I try not to make enemies. I try definitely try to see if I can come close to some type of agreement with somebody or something. That's just the way I am. But Niobe feels like people should hate other people because him and another person, I'm not going to say his name right now, but him and some other guy wish to just come on and just hate people. And that's what they want, you to hate someone because they want you to hate them. And that's not the way most thinking adults work. All right? You're not supposed to hate somebody because somebody tells you to hate them. You're supposed to hate somebody because they've done something. And then on top of that, you're not supposed to hate people at all. You can disagree, you can dislike, but there's this thing in life called don't talk to them no more. Don't associate with them no more if you don't like them. You see, the problem is that I have a runny faucet in my bathroom, and I need to get up and fix it in a minute. But I'll worry about that in a minute. I'll fix that in a minute. But the problem is, folks, is that he decided to start this war, and he listed dozens and dozens of people in this little war of mixed emotions, I call it. And so what has happened is that he's basically been spamming. He's been spamming his bullshit and he always does this. He makes a stupid false account and he goes around, he spams and spams to get attention. And then it gets to a point to where he has spammed so much that most likely they look at it as silly activity or something. But the thing is that I had actually contacted Twitter, and we have contacted Kickstarter. We have contacted a whole bunch of entities, let them know what this guy's doing. He's using this to raise money for his book. Period. That's all he's doing. He's trying to look like he's the answer to Comicsgate. Like he's the antidote for Comicsgate. He hates Comicsgate. And think about this, Comicsgate has nothing to do with his hate, because what happened is that he was somewhere doing something, someplace, and he decided that he was going to get in somebody else's conversation for no reason to defend some guy who was supposed to be some pedophile or something. I don't know. And what happened is that he, because of that situation, I'm not too keen on it, but what I was told, because of that situation, wherever he was at, whatever he was doing, those people from that community banned him and kicked him out. So he comes over here and he decides that, oh, it was Comicsgate that got me banned, or Comicsgate that got me this, or Comicsgate that. It's like whatever, he's using this excuse to attack people over here, because he see that there's a whole bunch of people out there who don't like Comicsgate, and he's going to see if he can make money off this community by aiming all his hate and garbage towards people over at Comicsgate. Now, like I said, I'm not Comicsgate. I just associate with people that are over here, and he's coming after you too. He's calling me a racist, after all the shit I've done, after all the things I've said. If you look at my profile and see what I do and what side or what ideology I follow, you will understand I am far from a racist. But he put me on that list. And when he put me on the list, I said, well, this is obvious slander, and you're using this to pump the numbers up on your failing book, because he's only made like $10,000. So he actually lowered his campaign. He actually lowered it because the first one before this, he had failed. So he actually lowered his campaign so it can get over 5,000. But the thing about it is, like, $10,000 is not enough money to produce the type of book he's trying to produce. The type of book he's trying to produce he's gonna have to make over $25,000 to maybe $30,000 to make the type of book he's trying to make, because Larry only writes. He doesn't draw, so he has to pay for an artist. He doesn't ink, he has to pay for an artist to do that. And he doesn't color, he has to pay for an artist to do that. And he doesn't do text, and he has to buy a letter. So those right there. Oh yeah, don't forget all the alternate covers he got made for his book. So that right there is going to run you about 10 grand. So he's not. Oh yeah, let's not forget, folks, that he also has to pay for the shipping and handling of his book and the actual publishing of his book. So he's not even over the point to where he can say he's making profit right now. So now he's over here, is like he's panicking, because he's like, I need to drum up some support for my shit by saying I hate Comicsgate. That's what he's doing. So he won this tirade, and this is what a tirade gets you, But I didn't take this shit lying down. What I did is that I launched my own campaign against Larry. I launched my own campaign against Larry, and my campaign is worded real different than Larry's, because I had somebody who's legal minded drafted up for me, because I didn't write none of that stuff. I read it and okayed and signed off on it before I posted it. But I did get somebody of a legal background to write something to put a point across to X and Kickstarter. Is that basically that they this is just an open public warning about what he's doing, and you should remove him off your platform, because he's using both of your platforms to sit back and castrate people with hate, to say that he's going to threaten people's jobs and threaten people's livelihood because he got laughed at, because he has problems, And the thing about Larry is that he's a 50 plus year old man living with his mom. This guy's obviously never been outside, never obviously had a date in his life, never obviously actually did anything life fulfilling, but make a comic book about an Asian girl and about abortion, So that's all you need to know about him. But the other thing about it is that I was I was looking to see what else he posted, because he has nothing else to do, folks. What I do is I wait, like, I'm working on some projects right now. Like, I'm working on stuff. That's why I haven't streamed all day, but I'm taking my time out to do this. And I just play like shit in the background. Like, I had Liam playing in the background while I worked. I had Dan Fragger early today playing in the background while I was working. I just play a lot of shit in the background. And while I was watching Dan Fragger, here comes Naomi spreading his nonsense. Then I was watching Liam. Here comes Naomi spreading his nonsense. And the thing about it is he stayed on Liam's chat. He just stayed there. Just stayed there. Then he found out I was in there. Then he started coming after me and started saying stupid shit. Like, I don't care what you say, dude. It's already back up, fool. That's all you're trolling on CG Church. Oh, please. And hold up, folks. I gotta do something real quick. There you go. He's gonna keep coming. So he's gonna come here as another alt. But his account got hacked and slashed today. And let me see. He claims it's back up. Let me see. Let me hit this. Is it back up? Yeah, he got it back up. He got it back up. But it was definitely down because I do believe someone had read has read my campaign and read the stuff that I put up about it. But that's okay, Larry. Have a great day. Have a great day. And eventually one day you're gonna grow up and get away from behind your mom's skirt and be an adult male one day. One day you will. One day you will realize people don't like this shit. And if you want to engage in council culture, well, you've come across the wrong person. You really have. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Thank you for watching. And do not buy Naomi because this is what he does. He's a council culture goon, and you should not buy his stuff. You should let him you should teach him a lesson by telling him that this shit ain't acceptable and just not buy Naomi. Do not buy. Matter of fact, if you guys really want to do something, you can go and sign up for my petition to get him removed from Kickstarter permanently. I mean, we want to get him off of Kickstarter permanently. So he won't have a reason to sit back and use their platform and then come over here to preach his hate of other people for no apparent reason other than raise eyebrows to his stupid campaign. Because when you can go and look at what he posted, folks. When he posted all those names and stuff, when he was saying these are racist, if you open up each one of those posts, you will see that he's actually advertising his campaign on each one. Each one he's advertising his campaign, and that shows you that's proof that he's not legitimately doing this because these people may be racist. He's doing this to get people to go over to his campaign. That's flat out against the terms of service for both Twitter and Kickstarter and Indiegogo. And also raise the eyebrows to actually I need to add another company to that, and that's Image. I need to add Image. That Image, I was like, do you want somebody like this over there? Every time he puts out a book, he goes out and tries to advertise his books by saying like people are racist. Please go over to Image. I mean, Image is going to support this? Is DC or Marvel going to support somebody doing this to people? Innocent people, slandering people? That's worse than what you're trying to do. He says, link me. Who's this? He's just going to keep coming back. He's just going to keep coming back. So folks, yeah, so he's going to keep coming. I think all 8 of the people that are in here right now are basically his alts. But that's what he wants to do, folks. He wants to sit back and cause problems for people that have never caused him a problem. But it is what it is, folks. And think about it is that over here, like since I've been over here and encountering people over here on, especially over people in Comicsgate, indie comics and Comicsgate, I have ran across individuals that are sort of kind of like him. These are people that don't belong to the community, period. These are people who need to find something to do. Most of these people are no talented hacks, have very small YouTube channels and don't have a clue of what comic books is, other than the fact they come on here and they see other people doing it. I wish these people would leave, because you're not being productive, you're not producing nothing. All you're doing is just causing trouble for other creators. There are people over here doing good work. There are people over here who want to live the indie comic stream and make their content and not be stressed over it. And it's people like Larry and a few others I'm not going to name, but they know who they are. They need to leave. They need to leave. They need to form their own community of hate, of people who hate, and go and make their own books and find their own artists and all the other shit, and just worry about their stuff. Because if you hate being over, if you hate CG so much, if you hate indie comics so much, and you hate the people that associate themselves or just simply have conversation with people on the side, well, then you're not somebody that needs to be over here. You don't even need to be over like in the community and typing CG. I mean, why come you can't stand on your own 2 feet with your own content to get people to come over there without the hate? It's because you can't. You can't survive on your own. That's why you're doing what you're doing, because you can't survive. Hold up, folks. I'll be right back. Hey, Autumn, what's up? What's up, Autumn? Yeah, so that's the problem. I'm friendly with everybody. I don't try to cause problems with anybody. I try to like mend fences when I can, if I can, and but the troll comes back the very next day. The troll comes back. All you others are gone, but the troll comes back the next day. Yeah, I'm just gonna just sit here and wait for him to use all of his alts so I can just ban them each time they come on. Yeah, so I try to mend fences. I try to get people to if they don't like each other, but just stop talking about each other and be productive. Those type of things I do. Type of things Larry do is just preach hate of CG. And because he's the one who got himself canceled. You can go and watch. You can go to CG Church and watch the video where Cynic actually talked about how he got canceled, and it had nothing to do with anybody over here. CG, this guy got canceled because of something he did on his own. And I do believe people are saying that he was never part of CG to begin with. He's just using this to ride hate, to sell his books, to drum up attention for his books, and that's it. I mean, that's sad. That's real sad. And now he's coming in here as Ruby. Now he's back here as Ruby. If what I'm saying offends you, why won't you go onto your stream with your crowd of people, and why won't you stream? Why won't you do that? Because my channel is actually, my channel is doing pretty good right now. My channel, because I've added new content to my channel now. My channel was losing subscribers. Now I'm gaining subscribers back, and my channel was like 19,300, and now it's back up to 19,500 last time I checked. So I've changed my content around. I'm doing better stuff and do more entertaining things. The thing about it is that I'm not doing it every day like I'm supposed to, because I'm like boggled down with a lot of like side work and shit. But I finished up the last of what I had to do for someone, and I can get paid for it now, so now I can go forward and start streaming every day. I can get back to streaming every day. I can do my 3D stuff. I can do drawings. I can do all type of stuff. I was just stuck for this last three weeks working on other projects. So I had a little free time here and there, and I was like drawing a little bit, uploaded some stuff a little bit, but I really wasn't doing nothing. So now I can actually come on here and start actually putting more time into my channel and into like the stuff, my stuff I like to do because it's my stuff. But that's what this guy does. You see how many alts he's coming here with, like 3 or 4 alts already, and he wants people. He wants attention for his book. That's all he wants. You know, like I said, I already have somebody with a legal background and talked to them and got consultation from them to ask them how to move forward. And they said the first things first is to contact all of these contact Indiegogo, contact Kickstarter, contact Twitter, X, and contact them. Now, we've done this today, but the problem is that it won't be until Monday or maybe Tuesday we will hear something back about something being done about what Larry's doing, you know, because we were pretty stern in our letter. We were pretty stern in the letter that I signed off on that sent directly to them, and all the stuff that he's doing, especially what he did on Liam's show today. That shit was looked at. That shit's been taken pictures of that. We showed him how he works, what he does. We showed all of his posts and everything. So we're basically trying to the only reason why he's doing this, and you can tell because every time he does this or make these posts, you know, he's back. It's person said all the drama that comes up over things. Yeah, it is. Hey, Autumn, let me ask you a question. What would you say now, Autumn, if I told you this guy, a 50-plus-year-old man living with his mom, causing problems on the internet, who would you think that I would have been talking to? Because you know me. You know I got experience with 50-year-olds, something that got on their mom's skirts for causing trouble for people on the internet. You know I have history of dealing with these people through the FBI, the social services, and all that shit. Everything I've done to the culprit in my life that tried to do what Larry's trying to do. I have a history of dealing with these people, and it's a step-by-step thing you have to do to deal with these guys. But eventually it pays off because they eventually fade away into obscurity. Yes, Autumn. You would think that the person I'm talking about is him, but this is a totally different person. This is a totally different person doing the exact same thing. So it's like I said, you know, this should be a case study in these people, you know, in these people who grow up, never leave their house and cause trouble. These incels, incel children, you know. I don't know how you could be a woman at the age of 86 or something and still approve of your son living with you and doing the things that they're doing. I don't know, don't care, but this is the new age. This is the new age, folks. This is what America is about. You know, this is what America has turned into. You know, this is our new society. This is a 50-year-old man. I'm 50, and I do not get on here. I do not. So now there's another 50-year-old man acting like a child. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There is another 50-year-old man acting like a 12-year-old child. Correct. You know, and the thing about it, Autumn, is it's not just that one. It's a bunch of them I have found, and it seems like they all suffer from the same symptoms: loneliness, obscurity, wanting to be something that they can't actually achieve. So they're going to lie, steal, cheat, and hurt other people because they feel like that's going to get them what they want at the end, you know. So people like me, when having to deal with these people, have to get law enforcement, lawyers, get this shit up in court and all type of shit. The same thing I did before. It may have to be repeated again, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, you know my history. What's up, Stray Beans? How's it going? I mean, you know my history of dealing with these fools. You know, the thing is, first things first is to just do what I'm doing. Put out the warnings. You know, put out the warnings and see if they're heeded. You know, I'm just asking him nicely. Now, this is me being nice to him. It's like, stop what you're doing. You know, I mean, you can do what you want to do. Just leave me the fuck out of it. That's all he has to do. Just leave me the fuck out of it. You know, when I get up in the morning, I don't say, should I include Larry Higgins in my daily conversations or not? I don't do that. You know, and he should do it too. He should be like, should I include one gun in anything I'm doing? You know, you know, and yeah, he can't get enough. You know, he can't get enough. He can't get enough. I mean, this is what he does. You know, look at this. You know, so he's a troll. You know, of course. You know, and like I said, I've got experience dealing with 50-year-old troll men. So, like I said, I think I told Jay Palmer about something. I did a joke a day, telling Jay Palmer something funny today. Don't know if he laughed at, but it was funny. But God bless you, stray beans. Yeah, God bless you, stray beans. That's so sad. There is more to life than mistreating others. There is. You're right. You are so right, Autumn. There is so much you can do in life than sitting back and causing strife. You know, there's so much more as a human being, as a decent person, you can do to uplift your soul, uplift others, than sitting back and just flat out defaming and harassing people. I mean, there's got to be something else to do. I mean, the world is a big place. I mean, you open up the doors, you can walk any direction you want to. But these people who choose to stay in their house, who choose to stay on the internet and do this, I mean, he's been doing this for like 2 or 3 days straight. And I think it's because that his crowdfunder isn't getting the numbers that it needs for him to make a profit. See, you see, there is something wrong with it. Yeah, there is definitely something off kilter with this man, because he could be doing something. He could be doing something productive in life, but he's been doing this for like the last couple of days. I mean, he really has been doing this for like the last couple of days. And I figure since he got this much time to be doing this, that means he really doesn't have a life outside of his computer, the internet, whatever, you know. He's proven it. He's proven it. I mean, how many times have I just banned him? Look how many times I just banned him. He keeps coming in here. He keeps coming in here. I don't even read the shit. I just ban it. I just ban it. You know, just tell him going about his business. But he's gonna think about it is he caught himself trying to push my buttons, you know, and somebody else did that to me a long time ago, and he had to suffer some things. He had to suffer a couple of visits from the FBI. He had to suffer a couple of appearances in court. He had to suffer multiple times having to appease judges to make sure that he would not be doing the things that he then had to say he was sorry, you know. So if Larry don't think I don't know how to take care of somebody like him, you know, even though he lives in Canada, he got another thing coming to him. But I'm gonna let him think that he's smarter than everyone else. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing about these people. You got to let them think that they're smarter than everyone else. You know, that they're doing things that he's I would go my way if you drop all videos. What? I would go. This is funny. I would go my way if you drop all videos of me, and the reason was you mocking me and making that video and making that video at LCS. Do you know? You think that LCS? Who's LCS? What video LCS? Think that's okay and moral. Kickstarter doesn't. Whatever, man. Show it to Kickstarter. You know. But the thing about it is that you're coming to me and threatening me, and now you're trying to barter with me. You're trying to say, well, if you do this, I'll do this. You know, no, that's not bartering. You just stop what you're doing and leave me the fuck alone. That's all you have to do. Just stop. I mean, why are you trying to persecute me for shit that has nothing to do with you? And if I did do something, what of it? You know, that's a saying, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but it's basically like, you know, you want to take somebody else's sticks and then swat yourself with those sticks and then take stones and bash them into your face and then say, I did it, when you actually picked up the sticks and the stones and hit yourself with it. You know, you make no sense, kid. I mean, grown-ass man. Straight Bean says, the thing with Larry is that this whole situation is him just lashing out because he embarrassed himself on Trash Cash and got picked on by all of CG. Yeah, basically, that's what it was. But you need to understand, it wasn't us picking on him. He came over here to us. Remember, he came over to us pretending that he's pitching a book then went after Cynic, then went after Ruby, then went after Jessica, and then he went after Liam, and that's where I stopped him. I was like, so what's wrong with Liam? And then we got into it, because he was just like fucking going after people for no apparent reason. That's where it started, and then it ended the week. This was all in 1 week. And then he went on to Ethan's show. He'd been going around saying all this crazy shit about, oh, yeah, I'm doing it right. Remember, he did that whole fucking week, right? He got on Ethan's show with Liam being on there. And then he tried to get on there saying we're doing it wrong and all this other bullshit. And basically said that he's making all this money. Then we saw how much money he was making. He wasn't making shit. He wasn't making nothing. Nothing at all. Then we found out that he was getting like a check from Antarctic Press like every quarter or maybe every other quarter of $1,000 or something like that. So he wasn't making nothing. Then on top of that, while he was on Ethan's show, he showed stuff from Antarctic Press he wasn't supposed to show, trying to prove a point, which didn't prove nothing. Ethan laughed at his numbers, basically saying, Ethan's like, I make that super chats. and his whole argument was, I'm in it for the long game. And both Ethan and Liam, being multimillionaires, saying, no, we ain't waiting till we 80 to be millionaires. We won't be millionaires now. And then Ethan finally kicked him off the show. The next following week, news came out that guess what? Diamond's going under. Right? Diamond's going under. But let's go maybe 2 days before that, when I actually had went to Ethan. I said, Ethan, we need to drive people like Larry out of fucking Comicsgate because they don't add nothing. They don't bring nothing. And all he's doing is just spreading hate and all this other bullshit. And then Ethan told me, and then in return, my poster said, basically, the market has a way of dealing with these people. Lo and behold, 2 days later, Diamond claims for bankruptcy. A couple of days after that, this is all in 1 fucking week. Karma is a motherfucker, folks. Karma is a motherfucker. Karma is a motherfucker. So, all I'm saying, so many devils on this stream going to definitely keep praying for you. Thank you. I can use it. So, another couple of, so that happened. And then Diamond said it's praying for bankruptcy. Then Naomi on his channel, Larry on his channel saying we're not going to worry about it. They're going to get out of this. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to do that. It's like, yeah. Meanwhile, a week later, a couple of days later, Antarctic Press, his savior, the guy, the people that are putting them on bookshelves, these people saying, no, we are not going to be engaged in printing or distributing creator-owned books anymore. We're stopping it. So his book is no longer on the shelves anymore. His book is no longer going to be in previews anymore. So karma struck this motherfucker 2 times in over a 3-week period, right? 3-week period. That's how karma works, folks. And he's too stupid. He's too damn stupid to shut his mouth up, and go off and mind his own business and put his book out. He's too stupid for that. Any other rightful person, even after Antarctic Press said I'm not going to publish my book no more, what I personally would have done is took my ass and went to a corner somewhere, shut up, and then tried to get my book out. So now it's March, and I knew he was gonna reemerge. If you don't cut off the head of the serpent and bash it in with a brick, it's always gonna grow its tail back. So he comes back and he starts this shit. So now the thing about it is that, like I said, Larry is not a artist. He's not an inker. He's not a colorist. He's not a letterer, and he's not an actual person that actually print books. He's none of these things. So what that means if he's none of these things? Well, this is what it means. That means for somebody like me, I can cut my costs making a book by doing all those jobs and stuff for maybe the coloring and the lettering. But those other three, those other jobs, in the publishing, right? So those other jobs, being an artist, being a writer, inking my book, putting it together and stuff like that, I can do that on my own. I mean, I can actually do that without having to pay the extra cost. See, I understand now. It costs anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000, maybe sometimes $25,000, depending on what type of quality book you're going to put out there, especially if you're going up to that 60, 65 or 60, 62 page limit. Books like that to produce will cost you in excess of $10,000, what he's trying to do. And think about Naomi. We know what Naomi does. He will make a book, raise money off that book, and then after he does that, he will take a portion of what he raised and then put it into making reprints. See, the problem is that Naomi is just barely covering the price to produce his book. The numbers that Larry wants is the numbers so he can make the book, then make reprints and sell and make more money off the reprints than he did with the actual book. Because the book itself is for him to make money off the reprints. The comedic timing of that is amazing. Yes, it is, Trey Beans. yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the thing about it is that his numbers on his campaign is not moving fast enough for him to sit back and prepare to do the extra shit he wants to do. He's barely breaking even. Yeah, well, he's actually, his campaign has actually got funded over $5,000. But if he doesn't make past $10,000, if he doesn't get to that $15,000, $20,000 price range or whatever, which he may get it, he may not get it, but if he doesn't get past where he's at right now, he may have funded his books. But don't forget, folks, like I said, he has to pay off his penciler. He has to pay off the inker. He has to pay off his colorist. He has to pay off his letterer. He has to pay off his variant cover. Well, whoever he pays to make variant covers, they have to be paid too. They have to be paid. And then he has to pay for shipping and handling and publishing the book. So he needs to make over 10 grand to see any type of profit. Because what he's trying to do is he's trying to make enough money off this book. Like I said, if you look at his history of what he does on his crowdfunding campaigns, he will make one book and do a whole other campaign of doing the reprints of that book. And then not only get the reprints, you also get the cover. So this is what he does. He doesn't put out books. He just puts out constant reprints of books he's already had. That's the way I guess that's the way he's going to play. But that game is old. And as you saw from your last campaign, did not work. So you decide, I'm going to put out a new book. And how long did it take him to put out a new book versus what he did last time with Fail? It took him a long time because he had to get the money together. So now he's back. Everyone is paid, jackass. Yeah, I bet you everyone is. I bet you everyone is. I bet you everyone is. And I bet you haven't broke even yet. I bet you ain't broke even yet. I bet you all the loans and credit cards you had to use. I bet you all the loans you had to take out and credit cards you had to burn through to pay all those people. Those aren't the people I'm worried about. I mean, if they paid, they paid. It's the creditors that's going to come after your ass. It's the loans you took out to make that book that's going to come after your ass. Yeah, I mean that's the way a lot of comic books are made. You don't pay that shit out of your pocket. You use your credit card, you use your Visa, you take a loan out, you do all that shit. 10 grand to get a book made. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money a lot of people don't have in their bank accounts. And that's a lot of money you're going to have to go out and get loans for or max out your credit cards to get done. I hope this book breaks you. I hope this book breaks you. I hope you continue your bigotry on Twitter and YouTube. I hope you keep doing that, Larry. I hope you get something out of this. Because as you keep going on as nobody you are, it makes me happy to know that all you're doing is we can see the panic. Everyone can see the panic. Autumn says, "Oh, I'm not a paid jerk." Autumn also says, "I hope there is no drama in selling plates, catering in a food truck because I can't take any more myself because, girl, the gas station thing is getting old. I know. I hear you, Autumn. I hear you. But yeah, folks. But that's just the way shit is. I mean, that's the way shit is. There are shitty people over here in indie comics and comicsgate shit. And like I keep telling people, if you're gonna come over here, learn to find out who you can trust. Learn to find out who you can talk to. Learn to know who are the good people, the nice people, the intellectual people that you can talk to. There are a bunch of intellectual people over here in the indie side, especially since I've been really hanging around people at comicsgate over here. I keep on telling people there's nothing wrong with these people over here. These are good people. You talk about my left-leaning ass coming over here, talking to people that people told me not to talk to, not to interact with, and all the other shit. I came over here because of my curiosity. My curiosity has led me over here, and that curiosity really paid off because I learned to meet new, nice people. I learned to meet people that were supposed to be the dredges of society, deplorable and all that shit, but they turned out to be some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And for people to sit back and place judgment on these people for just what they believe in, or who they voted for, it's just sickening and wrong. And those people who want to do that don't understand what being human is all about. Being human is about understanding, reaching out to people. Being human is being social, cordial, and be able to agree to disagree. That's what being human is about. But when you got people like Larry over here causing trouble for no reason, all because of his fucking ego and his ability to be a failure time after time after time after time, there has to be it has to be someone to tell this guy that he'll listen to, to stop doing this. This is not getting you nothing but more hatred, more cancellation, and all that other stuff. It's only human, folks. It's only human to want good things to happen to other humans. I don't think nobody was born like Larry. I think people like Larry are made to be this way. And I think it's because they want to be this way. They made themselves like this. And I learned a long time ago because I would think I was in my 30s or late 20s, 30s. I was mad at everybody. I was mad and angry at everybody. And that shit fuck with my health. I was mad at the world. But the thing about it is that I learned that it's time to stop being mad at yourself. It's time to stop being mad at the world. Because basically I was mad at myself for a long time. Because I felt like I failed, and it was only when I realized that, that as a human, we're going to make mistakes. As a human, we're going to fall back. As a human, there are going to be things that we can't control and we try to control. And as a human, we need to understand, we need to take our hands and take that shit that's on our shoulder and throw it up and let God handle it. Right? That's all we can do. I can't go through life. And I suggest to everybody, you can't go through life saying that you have control over everything, because that would drive you insane. That would drive you fucking insane. You're going to carry shit on your shoulder and you will put that shit on your shoulder until you find a way to get it off your shoulder. No, drop the shit. If you haven't found a way to drop the shit off your shoulders, well, you're just going to be held to some shit for the rest of your life, and you're going to be angry and mad because you didn't dump it sooner. Get the shit off your shoulders. All right? Learn how to be cordial with people. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to get an understanding with people. That's the only way we're going to be able to step forward, and that's the only way we're going to be able to look forward, is for us all to look at ourselves, figure out what's holding us back, move past it, and leave it in the past. Too bad Larry will never have that, because Larry doesn't have that type of thinking. Larry doesn't have that type of intellect to sit back and say, nobody hates me. It's me hating myself and taking my hate out on other people. Taking my failures out on other people. That's what Larry's about. And it's too bad he thinks like that. It's too bad he wants to be like that, but that's just a god awful truth. If you got your time to sit back and name people that, lie on people and say that they hate, you need to take time to look in the mirror and see who's the person who's really full of hate. That's you, Larry. Preach. Autumn says she's 35 years old and have been struggling with my anger and the drama is not worth it. God has our back. Yes, he does. He does. Yes, yeah. You know, it's always something. Sometimes you may not think God has your back, but sometimes it might be other people you depend on. But the thing about it is that you need to find a way to get the anger out of you long enough to where it doesn't seep out and become infectious and winds up getting you cast aside or whatever. Because right now Larry is just casted aside. Larry's putting himself in a predicament that he shouldn't really be in, because the problem is, if he believed in this product, if he believed in what he does, if he believed what he's doing is right, he wouldn't have to go around doing what he's doing to tell people what he's doing is right. I mean, he goes around telling people what he does is right. Nobody else is doing as good as me because my name is Larry and I've done it. I've been this, I've been that, but nobody cares. If you don't think nobody else is out here making comics, well, you're mistaken, my friend. You're over in a community of people who do nothing but make comics, and you're coming over here telling people how to make comics. How does that sound to you, Larry? It sounds fucked up. It sounds really fucked up. And for you to sit back, then get angry with yourself because all the things that you've done and said over these past few months have all blown up in your face. And your retort to all the stuff that you did to yourself, you went onto these shows, you sat back here and said all that nonsense, only for it to be blown up in your face, and then have people actually laughing at you because they know everything you say is from a crazed man who lives with his mom. That's who you are now, Larry. That's who people see you are, as a crazy man living with his elderly mom. That's all you're known for. Anytime you put out a book, anytime you make a post and you say something incredibly stupid, everybody refer you as that crazed man who lives with his mom up in Canada. That's what you want to be, Larry, because you can change what people call you and laugh at you about. You can change it. You can change it by standing behind your book, not using this stupid propaganda to sell your book. That's what you can do. But I don't think you're going to do it. I think you're going to take the boss way to do it, right? Is to raise funds on the back of innocent people to get other people to go and look at your crappy book. I'm not calling your book crappy because you wrote it or because the person who drew it or anything else. I'm trying to crap it because you're crappy. What you're doing is crappy, and you need to stop. Stop while you're ahead, Larry. You could be a good person, or you can be a bad person. That all depends on you. But this shit that's going on between me and you and everyone else in this community, you need to stop it. Why don't you build your own community with your own friends? I mean, you got a channel, you have a crowd of people. Why don't you start something there? Why don't you build your own shit? I mean, makes sense. If you don't like it over here, you will go somewhere else, build your own community, and make that community dwarf this one. But for some reason, you don't want to do that. You want to come over here and start trouble and call people racist and bigots and send the Wikipedia links out or what is CG and all this stuff because you have nothing to do. And you're sad. You're just sad. Very sad. So keep it up, Larry. Make more people not like you. Meanwhile, I'm just gonna, continue my campaign against you to get you removed off of Kickstarter, and off of X. Hopefully, I'll get you off of X. Hopefully, but we'll see. But maybe tomorrow I'll just take down all the stuff and just say, you know what, Larry, do what you want to do. I don't care. People not gonna pay you no attention anyway. But future will hold lots of things. I don't know much. Autumn says, I don't know much about Larry. Joe name dropped to me, but people like this come and go. Sometimes they're a reminder of what and who we want to truly be. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. These are basically, like I said, people who are delusional, who want to be something that they are infatuated with, and they go about it in their own way, and in the process get even more delusional, saying that they know what they're doing and that they're better than such and such doing it. Listen to me. And when people look at them and laugh, they get angry, they get mad, and they lash out. And this is what this dude is doing. He's lashing out. He's lashing out at his failures versus from learning from them. You know, most of the time when you fail at something, you learn from it. But he doesn't want to learn because he feels like after Diamond collapsed and after he was kicked out of Antarctic Press, you know, he feels that was our fault. He feels that was, I mean, what he truly feels, he feels like that's our fault that he got, destroyed within 2 weeks of him going around bragging about he's making all this money and doing all this great work, doing all this great shit, after a failed Kickstarter campaign, so it is what it is, folks. Well, it's your boy One Gun. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video of breaking news, and I will see you guys in the future. Thank you guys for showing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the like button, and hit all next to the bell as you hit the bell, because I can definitely, I'm trying to aim my channel, because I'm going to go back and I'm about to start streaming in the morning and stuff. I work on my projects, and I'm trying to get my channel back up to over 21,000 subscribers. So I'm going to, my channel at one time was getting close to 22,000 subscribers. I'm back, folks. I'm going to aim to get my channel back over 22,000. But actually, I did make it to 22,000 before I stopped streaming for a couple of months because of sickness and health and shit. But I plan on getting my channel over 22,000 this spring, going to the summer, by kicking a lot of ass, doing a lot of videos, doing interviews, and I'm trying to get people lined up to come on my Wun-Talks show. Maybe have Stray Beans come on, and talk about shit, but I'm trying to get like intellectual talking, proper speaking people who don't want to invite people onto their, who don't want to just invite people on their channel just so they can say those slang and try to convince like white people to say the hard R word, So I really am trying, man. I want to do something different. I want to do a show about comics and movies and film stuff that's inspirational and non-destructive to those medias. My whole thing going forward is to be constructive, not destructive. I'm not going to sit back and ask people for super chat money to say a movie sucks. I'm going to tell people to get off your asses and watch the movie, and then we'll discuss it on the show. So anyway, folks, this is your boy One Gun. Thank you all for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heap and helping also hospitality. I guess that's how the song goes. All right, this is your boy One Gun. I'm out of here. Autumn says, "Go for it. Prayers for you. Help keep following your dreams." I am. See you around, dude. See you around. This is your boy One Gun, and I'll definitely see you guys in the future. Peace out.